Yes, yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City TV special. And for those that haven't seen the Sarcasm City TV specials before, it's a one-on-one sit down with the biggest content creators, the best content creators, the GOATs, the Mount Rushmore candidates, the pioneers, the people that have kicked down doors in this space for myself and many others. And it's all about not only getting their full backstory from the very beginning up until the present day, all about giving them their flowers as well, because there's so much negativity that goes on in this space. As positive as great as it is to be a part of this spaces, as great as the audiences and the love that they show, there is negativity. And for this, it's all about giving people their flowers while they can still smell them. A big up to everyone that has enjoyed this series previously when I did them in 2024, everyone who enjoyed the second wave. And of course, we started the 2025 specials and we had Turkish on yesterday. Shout out to Turkish each and every time. And make sure you go check that one out after this one as well. But this one right here, I was just literally saying to this man before we went on live, before I went live, I'm a fan of yours. Like legit, I knew you before you knew me. I have been watching your fan cams and watching your content for years. So not only the fact am I able to get him on my channel, and this is the first time as well, is that a big thing. I'm blessed to be on his channel on a weekly basis. He needs no introduction, but I'm still going to give him the introduction anyway, because first and foremost, I think his footballing knowledge and his footballing analysis is extremely underrated. And I think it's underrated because he's so entertaining with it. So people can kind of overlook and bypass it when he's outside the Emirates telling Robbie, yo, we can't fucking defend Robbie. Like people will just think of that. But pay attention to what he's saying and you'll learn something. Because he's an older head, he wanted the OG, so he's seen Arsenal from the 80s, the early 90s, the 2000s, all the way up until this point. And another one of the few that I've managed to transcend errors, because he started in the fan cam era. So this is before live streaming, before StreamYarding, and he went clearing that. And then managing to transcend all the way through now to the live streaming era, whether it's on Aftv, whether it's on his own channel. I believe probably the most underrated duo is him and Dan Potts. Shout out to Dan Potts as well, because that's my guy. I think Dan Potts is underrated by himself. But those two as a duo, I don't know who idea it was to put those two together. And I know, well, I ask him that question as well. But I believe them two there together is just an absolute fire duo, like 110% as well. And I mentioned about being able to transcend errors and still being able to get your point across, still being able to stand out, because we all know Aftv was stacked them times. Like if you wasn't good, you was not going clear. And like I said, his own channel, he's managed to go clear on as well. Super entertaining. How many times has this man been memed? You know what I'm saying? Staring at his phone in the old Aftv studio. Like, look at that. Like the whole, you fucking see you next Tuesday, all of that. You know, like that's testament to the man as a character. And it's just him being himself as well. And like I mentioned, Dan Potts, myself, he's blessed enough to open the door on his channel to let us go over there as well. But I need to state this before I do bring him on. People pay attention to his analysis of the game, because that's what it is. You see the older heads, the OGs, you will definitely learn a thing or two. And I think he's going to continue to go nuclear. And you see this tier list that has been going around. I said it at the time. He's definitely in the GOAT status for me, without doubt, and he's going to continue to go clear as well. So got a welcome for the first time ever to Sarcasm City TV. So it's only right, the special. Man like Lee Judges is in the building. How we doing, Lee, man?
Wow, what can I say? What an introduction. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, like, you know. So and listen, my pleasure to come on and be on your channel, like, you know. I love you coming on mine. Love your views. The accent, I think, does it as well, my man. It does, you know what I mean? It's brilliant. And yeah, so big up to you as well, like. But thanks for that. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That every time, Judges, is only right. It's all about giving people their flowers on this special. Like I said, rather than what's going on at the football club today and future and what's going on in the season and the manager and the players, etc., and things of that nature. It's like, no. Like, let's stop and give people their flowers whilst they can still smell them. And big up to the chat as well. Make sure you run up the likes. Big up to everyone in the chat. Subscribe to Lee Judge's channel. The link is in the title. Hit that like button. Make sure you share across all the socials. That's me, Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV and hit the notification bell as well. And I said that to you beforehand, said it on air as well. Judges, it's great having you on. Like many others in the chat, I've been watching you for years, and like I say, your cutthroat approach to what's going on in the game, in particular at Arsenal, which can be very, very tough to do. I rate that highly because a lot of people won't do that. So, and I think that's why you are so respected and so well watched. But let's jump in the time machine. I want to go back to the very, very beginning. So before Aftv, before Lee Judges TV, what was your introduction into the content creator space?
Well, going back into it, I never had an inkling about it really. I just, you know, I played at a decent level when I played football, and then obviously going and watching the Arsenal. Wasn't on any social media platform, or didn't even know what StreamYard was, or anything like, you know. And people might think that I'm lying when I say this. I never even knew what, like, when you know, it's gone viral or whatever, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, I had not a clue. Not a clue. So I wasn't on any social. I tell a lie. I was on Facebook, like, you know. But everybody's sort of on Facebook, and like, you know, you'd make a little comment on a I'll never forget this. You'd make a little comment, say, "Oh, like Ozil's had another stinker" or something like that. No comments, no likes, no nothing, like, you know what I mean. So that's how it was, you know, and so never looking to be in it or do anything, or, you know, I didn't have a computer, a laptop at the time, or anything like that at all. And that is a God's truth. But obviously, like, I'm trying to really remember. I've just probably finished playing football and managing at the time. Yeah. When Aftv started to come on, and I remember being at a game. Yeah. Non-league game, like over at Hartford it was. I used to play for them. And someone comes to me and said, "You seen this video about Aston Villa?" And that was like the Chris Hudson one, like, you know, which was when unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And that was the first time I sort of got
crazy you mentioned that, because Turkish mentioned the exact same video. That's the maddest part. Literally yesterday, he mentioned the exact same Chris Hudson video that you just spoken about. So, carry on.
That was it. That was it for me. I see that video, and I was like a nodding dog, you know what I mean, agreeing with everything he was saying, like the passion of him. You know, I've become very good friends with Chris. He only lives down the road from me, and I was agreeing with it, and that was that. And then you began to games, and you gradually seeing people crowding around this black guy, and that was how it was. You're curious to see what it was, but then realise what it was, and I started watching it. The likes of Claude Kane. And funny enough, I was my line of work was dry cleaner. I got my own shop. I had the contracts with Tesco's.
Oh right, okay.
And, I remember getting in the lift. I used to come up to the head office with me lift with me rails and all that, and then go into the restaurant area, and I used to had a table there, and the people would give me their clothes and whatever. And I remember getting into the lift, and Mo walked in. You know.
Mo from of course, Mo from Aftv, of course.
Gone, wow, you're on Aftv, like, you know. I mean, a little bit starstruck by him being on it, and I said, "Oh, I really like what you say and all that." But by this time, you'd going away from home from games. You'd sit in the car and watch them, like, do you know what I mean? Watch these guys, you know. Okay. So he said, "Oh, do you go to the Arsenal?" I said, "Yeah, go every week." And blah blah blah. He says, "Oh, you should go." And I said, "Oh, no, it's not for me, like, really. But I love what you're doing," and that was it. So that was it, like, you know what I mean, like. And then we had funny enough. You're going to probably remember this game as well. We went up to Old Trafford, and I'll tell you what, I had hospitality over in the football. You know, the hotel.
Yeah, I know the hotel. Yeah, the hotel that's right by it. Yeah.
So, like, the people that got us said to us, go in there, pretend you're Man United fans, you know what I mean? Because it's all going to be Man United, like, but you know, enjoy the meal and everything like that. So we went there. Me and my partner went in there, like, you know, Michelle. Viv Anderson was the guy that was giving the come around and have a chat. Of course, he was ex-Arsenal as well, so that was very, very interesting. It was the game where Rashford made his, I think, Premier League debut and scored a couple of goals.
Was it? Was it that time? Yeah, I know the game. I know the game you're talking about. Wow.
So imagine we're around this table. There's all Man United fans here, like, you know, and Viv Anderson went round the whole table saying, right, or the whole room, right, what do you reckon the score's going to be today? And I can tell you this now, not one Manchester United fan said United would win. They all said it'd be a draw or Arsenal would win after the win. And I think I said Arsenal win 2-1. When I looked at Man United's team was very, very weak. Arsenal was very, very strong. Cut a long story short, we know what happens. Man United win. So I'm furious that day, like, you know what I mean? That's it now. I'm really like at the end of my tether with Arsenal at this moment in time. And as you know, when you coming out of Manchester, you got to sit in the traffic for an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's literally bumper to bumper traffic. Yes, you are going nowhere if you are in car.
You're hearing on the radio that Tottenham were 1-0 down, I think, against Swansea, and they turned it around and beat them.
I know that Granny Jog is. I know that.
And everything on the radio is coming through, and you know, I was getting more and more wound up. So, so like we've now got Swansea on the Wednesday. On the Wednesday at home. Right. Tottenham are playing, I think, West Ham away that day. Anyway, I'm not really looking forward to the game. And again, we lose 2-1 at home to Swansea. I think it was 2-1.
Let me check. I'll have a look here.
I think it was 2-1. We lost. Giroud missed a couple of chances. And me and my mate Martin, who was my son's coach.
Yeah, you were spot on. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, 2-1 March. Yeah, it was March 16th. Yeah.
So a couple of my mates had gone early. They'd said, "Oh no, I've had enough," and gone. Who we'd gone up there with, but Martin stayed to the end, and we're coming home now. We've coming past the station, and we see this, you know, the big crowd out there. And I swear to you, what all I said was I just said something on there, and someone said, "Why don't you go there and say that?" Like, so I went, "Oh, they think will, like, you know what I mean?" Thinking nothing of it, right? I don't know if you know, if you probably like to get onto Aftv at this stage. It's hard ask because there was so many people around it,
surrounding him,
you know. But all of a sudden, it was like Moses in the sea. It was partying, like, you know what I mean. And there was just this white light, and I'm like a, you know, I don't know, like, what am I, like a butterfly or a moth going towards this light? I can't, you know. And Robbie's at the end of it, like, you know.
Yeah.
And loads of people have seen the video, like, and that was the first video that I'd done. And I then gets home. Oh no, I'm on the train.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I shouldn't have done that. I should have.
Why? What made you say, nah, I shouldn't have done that?
Well, because
I'm looking at 9 years ago, it was. Yeah,
is it 9 years ago?
Yeah, 9 years ago. Yeah,
I swore a few times on it. Effed a few times on it.
Yeah.
Now I think
you just lost to Swansea. Like, it makes sense.
I'm thinking I've got to go to Tesco's tomorrow, like big contracts of mine, and they're all seed out, and I'm starting to panic a little bit, like, you know.
Okay.
So I phoned up my mate Tony, who knows a little bit about social media and all that, like. Yeah, so I said, so I rang him. I said, Tony, I think I've done it wrong, mate. He's gone, what's that? He says, I've gone on that Aftv, and I think, like, I might have said a few things I shouldn't have said. Can we get it off? He's gone, you can't get it off. It's out there now, mate. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, there's nothing you can do. It's out there. He goes, I'll ring you back, and I'll let you know. So I said, it died down and all that, like, you know what I mean? It probably died down, nothing to be of it, like. So about an hour, half hour later, I'm still not home by this time. He rings me again. Oh my God, it's gone viral. It's going viral. I said, what do you mean? What's that? He says, everybody's watching it. I said, oh no, Tom, you've got to take it down. It's got to be taken down. He says, there's nothing I can do. It's gone viral. It's going mad. It's going mad. So I'm going, oh, I cry, mate. Now, what am I going to do and all that night? You know, I'm really panicking about work and all that night. You know? So anyway, 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings. Tony again, like, I can't believe it. Like, it's, you know, it's going mad, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm now panicking. I've got to go to work and everything like that. Yeah. Now I've got like Piers Morgan's having a row with Gary Lineker on Twitter about this video and everything like that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wait. So those two was going back and forth about your video.
Yeah, they keep bringing up the video and everything like that. And,
okay. What was that? Let's skip over that. What was that like? Because obviously you've not expected to go viral. So Tony's telling you it's gone viral. You're saying take it down. He's saying you can't.
Yeah, I'm panicking. I am in panic mode at this stage. Like, you know, I am a little bit worried and all that. Like, no. Now, Alistair Gold, right, is the now Spurs journalist. Okay, but he was working for the local newspaper around my way. Now, I knew of him because of my football when I was playing local football and managing and everything like that. I get a phone call from him. This is about 9 o'clock. I'm going to work, getting ready to go to work. He said, hello, Lee. How you doing? Nice to see you and all that. Like, any chance of an interview after what you said yesterday? Like, you know what I mean? So I said, he's gone like, yeah, can you make a few quotes and like, you know, and what's it like that Gary Lineker's talking about you, Piers Morgan's talking about you, and it's just gone absolutely crazy. So this was the game's on a Wednesday. This is the Thursday. The paper comes out on the Friday. So every week. So I says what I said. I just said what I felt, and you know what I mean, blah blah blah, and everything like that. So I've just done an interview over the phone with him, like, you know. So now I goes to work to Tesco's, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm panicking, like, and people are coming up to me and going, well done, well said, you know what I mean, and everything like that. And I think, oh, well, it ain't been too bad, like, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm worried, like, I've got my mum, she's going like, oh, you swore a lot on that video. I said, oh, you know, one of those things, mum, you know what I mean? Like, blah, blah, blah. So, comes out to the paper on the Friday. He could not have put an angrier picture of me up on there, like, you know what I mean? Like that. The worst picture. He couldn't have done one of these smiling like this.
No, I didn't do a smile when it was a bad picture.
Spurs, you know what I mean? The Spurs and him done that, I think, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I've got this angry face and all that, like, and it's a big headline in the paper and everything like that. So that ain't gone away. So I think. Well, you know, I don't know what it's just going mad. There's people like, you know, Tony's going, you know, it's got like million views already and everything like that, and overall,
the views is crazy. Yeah, I'm looking here even on this because it's nearly it's at 280 now, and that's obviously excluding.
Yeah, that was just
media.
like
that's excluding. Yeah, like, you know, that's done.
Yeah,
crazy
apparently
on
in the end it had 5.5 million views.
Whew.
Right.
So you came out the gate hot, judges.
Yeah,
like, that is just straight out the gate
on this one video.
Woo.
So I'm now thinking, all right, well, it died down and everything like that. Like, yeah. So we've now got Spurs at 12:30 on the Saturday.
Continue before you go to the Spurs on the 12:30. I've got to ask you, because this is straight like hot out the gate. What was it like with Piers Morgan and who was it, and Gary Lineker? Those two mentioning and going back and forth for your video. What was your thought process with that when you've seen that?
Do you know what? I didn't really know too much about it because I'm not on social media at this stage.
Okay, so you didn't know.
I'm not on Twitter. It's just what people are saying to me and everything like that. So I don't really know anything like that, and I'm not on social media and everything like this at this moment in time. So yeah, so goes to the Spurs game in the morning.
Okay,
and my phone just goes mental. There's loads of phone calls and everything like that. So I'm going, what's going on? So I made Michelle moan. She said, oh, Lee, she goes, it's absolutely mad. You've got Ian Wright, Rio Ferdinand, Harry Redknapp, Piers Morgan, all talking about you video on before the game and all that, like, you know. So there's a clip in it. I've still got the clips from, because I haven't, you know, like BT Sport it was, where Rio Ferdinand goes, if you don't think Arsenal fans are unhappy, go on to AFTV or Arsenal Fan TV at the time, go and have a look at this guy Lee on there. It is absolutely gold. And Harry Redknapp, then he's making a comment saying, Ian Wright's going, my God, I want to meet this man, he's unbelievable. And Piers Morgan is saying the same. And so it's gone mad from there, like, you know. So that's where it all started from there. So I said, right, listen, I'm going to have to get myself probably a month later now. I bumped into Robbie again that day, and I said, I said, do you want to do an interview? Doing it? I went, no, I don't. He said, oh, go on, like, you know what I mean. And we ended up drawing the game 2-2. And he said to me, look, you know, this would be a better one for you because I'll be a little bit more like myself, a bit calmer and whatever.
Yeah, be a bit calmer because you drew the game.
Yeah. I thought I'd just do that one, and it'll see me like a little bit more happier and a bit not angry and swearing and all that. So I thought I'd cover myself and cover me other. So I done that, and that was that. And then like people were saying, oh, like you should go on it and blah blah blah. Wherever I was going, people was coming up to me and saying, oh, brilliant and everything like that. So I then goes, all right, I might as well go on to Twitter and set up an account.
Okay, so you ended up setting up a Twitter account after the Spurs game. Okay.
After the Spurs game, must have been a couple of weeks later, like, you know. And I put on Lee Judges. If you have a look at all my socials, is Lee Mark Judges, right? So
literally, I tagged you up in all this and seeing it was all Lee Mark Judges.
So I put on Lee Judges. Oh, you can't have that account. Someone's already got it. There's already a Lee Judge. I said, well, So I'm going to Michelle, who's a little bit more savvy than me. She said, no. So someone's set up a fake account, like Lee Judges.
Someone had a fake account of you already?
Yeah. So after this 2 weeks or 3 weeks, someone had set up an account and they was pretending to be me or whatever, or like, that was me on the interview. I was doing this and doing that. I was doing this. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, that ain't me. There's a picture of me, but it ain't me. You know what I mean? Like, so that is why I had to put Lee Mark Judges on it, because I couldn't put my own name down on it, like, you know. So that's how and it's unbelievable. Like, I had to, it's my name and it's me, but I couldn't be me, like, do you know what I mean? So so that, and then I you know, like, there was things happening with it, and so I messaged this account and said, look, you know, please don't, you know what I mean?
Yes, like, don't be me. Stop pretending to be me.
Like, do you know what I mean? And they've got clips of things on them, like, so someone that obviously knew me. To this day, I don't know who it is, like, you know what I mean? So that's how it all come about. And it was a mad sort of thing from then on. And that's how I got into it. And then Craig, who was doing the same old Arsenal, asked if I'd come on a podcast. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I said, what's that?
You had no clue what was going on.
No, no clue what's coming on. Like, and that was they was just starting to take off then. So I thank Craig for that. Craig got me into doing what we was doing now, and I started doing a show with him every week, every Monday, for fun, nothing other than just a bit of fun. And do you know what it was for me? When people go, oh, why did you go on that? It was therapy. I would release my anger or frustrations out.
Yeah, get it off your chest.
Get it off my chest. People would react to it, and that was it. Like, and that's how it come about. But then, of course, AFTV at this stage just went completely nuts. It just,
and you're a part of that. So with you doing the first fan cam, that going viral, you've then done the one after the Spurs game. You've then set up a Twitter account. Was you then a regular on AFTV? Was you like every single game? Was it frequent or was it more?
I wouldn't go on it every single game. Sometimes, you know, I mean, you'd have to shoot off or whatever, and you know, but I'll be really honest. At this time, you had to queue up, and sometimes you'd be waiting 20 minutes or whatever.
Jeez, yeah, it'd be a long time at times. Yeah, that makes sense.
So there was times when I couldn't do that. It was but if I was there and Robbie, like, you know, if Robbie would catch me in his eye line or something, he'd push me through a little bit quicker. But I weren't one of these people and never have been like, let's go, let me go.
Looking for the spotlight.
Yeah, no, and I never like. Do you know what? And I'll be really honest with you, like, you know,
of course.
Do you know when you in a TV program? I don't know, like, I don't know, Only Fools and Horses or a proper program. You got your big stars, aren't you? Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
I was always happy with being like the supporting.
You want to be supporting cast.
Very important to the show. Like Krieger was very important to Only Fools and Horses, but he weren't the main guy. So I was never in a thing where I wanted to be the main guy or anything like that. So I was quite happy with my position, if you know what I mean. Like I was not. I hate that we. I'm
just letting you know now, judges. You was one of the main guys. You was one of the go-to.
Like, so I was one of the main ones, but like, you know, I wasn't the main
ones. You were one of my go-tos. Aftv, Arsenal lost or drew. You were one of the go-tos alongside Troops, and the rest of you was one of the go-tos. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, so that's how it was for me. So I was happy with what I was doing. You know, my business was going well, so it wasn't where I wanted to push myself into different things or go down different alleys or whatever. So that's how it was for me. And I quite enjoyed dipping in and dipping out and all that sort of stuff, really. And not, if I'll be honest, there was a lot of heat going about AFTV at this stage.
Yeah.
And I seem to be under the radar of it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
so it wasn't focused on you.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I quite like that thing of like, you know, we can't stand so and so and we don't like him. I'm not going to name names, but you're all right, Lee. You know what I mean? Like, and I was sort of in that sort of mold. And listen, I had a couple of things go against me on which I'm happy to talk about if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, of course, judges. This is what we're here for: is to hear your full backstory. Don't leave out any details.
Yeah, I know.
The audience, we all ears for this. Yeah, go on. Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
So it was I thought AFTV at the time when the time I'm talking about it was being too focused on just a couple of guys, and it wasn't genuinely around the whole
everybody
like. And I'm not saying that, like, God bless him, Claude found it very difficult to accept and all that. And I remember coming on the train one time and saying to Claude, you know, he was going, "Oh, we ain't getting this and we ain't getting that." And I said, "Hold on, Claude, we're you know, like, I'm not saying that, but we're older men in a young man's world." Right.
Yes, I get that.
And to be doing what we're doing, I think, you know, we've got to give ourselves a pat on the back. I don't think we should be like, what, you know, it is a young man's world and we're doing well in it, like, you know. But anyway, so it was going that way where it, you know, I wasn't happy with the way things were going. And then there was an award a night. I think it was 5 years at AFTV.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think you know where you're going with this.
So we all gets invited down to this lovely do, and it was lovely do. And you got this is I've got to picture this so everybody realizes what it was like.
Yeah.
So I'm in the room having a chat and all that. Ian Wright is giving a speech.
Yeah.
So Ian Wright comes in, like, you know, icon of Arsenal Football Club. I don't care what everybody says.
Of course, definitely an icon, without doubt.
Massive, you know what I mean? Like, so he comes in, and of course everybody's trying to get to him and whatever, like, you know. And again, I'm not one of those people like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I'm having a conversation with somebody else, and there's a pat on my shoulder. I turns around and it's Ian Wright, and he goes. And this is his words to me, Lee, I've been wanting to meet you for a very, very long time. You know what I mean? And I went, wow, I've wanted to meet you for 20 years, is what I said. And we had this big hug.
Yeah, love that.
It was fantastic. But we've got some tickets to go up to Nottingham to see him in a show about 3 weeks later, just out of coincidence, nothing to do, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
just coincidental.
A meet and greet, like, you know, I'll tell you about this story because it's a great story.
Of course, yeah, talk about it.
So anyway, like, he's done his speech and all that, like, and I said to him, I'm going to be up in Nottingham in a couple of weeks. So he said, brilliant, make sure you come and see me and all that. I said, yeah, we'll do. So he then leaves. As he's leaving, he makes a beeline for me. He says, I'll see you in a couple of weeks in Nottingham. Like, I thought, wow, you know what I mean? So you got to imagine now, I am flying.
Yeah, you're on cloud 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm flying. You know what I mean? I'm buzzing, like, you know what I mean? Phone Michelle up, said to her, you know, Ian Wright said about we're going to meet him up there and all that, like, you know. So I said, it's fantastic. So now they're giving out all these awards. And it's all live on TV. It was live stream. So Michelle's watching it and all that, like, you know. Okay. And they're all going up. Claude goes up. DT, Troops, Mo, everybody goes up, like, you know. And then they turned around and said, like, and thank you for everybody turning up today. It's been a great show, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. So I'd been left out, right? I never... this time I didn't have the ump about it. I just thought, right, ain't the end of the world. But then, like, my phone starts ringing. What's going on? That's a disgrace. Like, Michelle phoned me up and said, you all right? So I said, yeah. She said, like, I can't believe him. Look, I said, yeah, it's a little bit out of order and all that, like, you know. So anyway, the evening's carrying on. And Claude, God bless him, went to me, like, he didn't get much, a bit of a shock. He goes, hey, you can have a look at mine if you want. Thank you very much. Very nice of you, like, very nice of you, like, you know. And so I said, so I then goes home. I goes home and I'm sitting on the train on the way home, and I felt a little bit let down. I thought, like, I'm not saying that I'm entitled to an award, don't get me wrong, but I thought, like, if everybody's getting them, I think, like,
you've worked hard enough to get it, which is fair because you have been a major part of it at that point.
I took a penny from it, like, I've given up my time for it and all that, like, you know. And I got home, and now you got to understand, like, and this is the thing that made it from being so high up. I'm now I'm low. You know what I mean?
So you've gone from here down to
So I felt something in that, like, you know, and I said to Michelle, do you know what? I'm not really happy with the way things are going on there now. And I've had a great time. I've had a really great time about it. That's it for me, like, you know. Now I'll tell you when this was. We played Manchester City in the League Cup final, lost 3-0 on a freezing cold day at Wembley.
Okay.
The awards, I think, was on a Tuesday, and we've now got Manchester City again at the Emirates on the Thursday. And oh my God, it's minus 60 out there. It's freezing cold. We had to get the tube to.
Yeah, this was 2018? Yeah, 2018. Yes, you're right. Spot on 2018.
Back 2018.
Yes.
So
2018,
if anybody was an Arsenal fan that day or Man City fan, they remember the game. It's freezing cold. We couldn't. The trains weren't really going that well so we had to get the underground in, and we managed to do it. Me and my mate Russ went together, and Russ has always been a big supporter of it all, and not all my mates have been big supporters of AFTV. Some of them don't like it and have made that point, but we're still friends and whatever. But Russ has always been very, very supportive. So we're in the we're on the train going there, and he says, like, you're going to go and do your interview because that means I've got to stand around in minus 10. So I said, no, we won't do it. It was freezing cold. I don't want to do it and everything like that. So I've got no beef with it or anything like that. It's just because it's freezing cold this day. I ain't saying I'm not going to go on it or I'm not going to do it no more. I'm just not going to go on it that day because of this so cold. I remember we even got two. I don't never buy nothing from Emirates because of I think they take the mick, but I couldn't. We had Bob rules to keep ourselves. Well, when we lose the game 3, we lose the game 3-0. So we get straight back home, and that's the end of it. Like that night, I get messages coming through again, like and all that. Robbie had made a video.
I know exactly the video you're talking about. Yeah, I watched that. I know exactly the video you're talking about.
I'm really sorry I left out the judges and all that, like, you know. and it's never the problem, you know what I mean? Like they tried, you know, they like say they forgot me and everything like that. And I imagine they thought, oh no, we've made a big mistake here and everything, like running around and all that, like, you know. So then Robbie rang me up and said to me, look, you know, and that's when I said to him, look, I'm not being horrible, like it's nothing to do with that. But a little bit, maybe it's time for me to finish and everything like that. So he said, no, I'm coming down. I'm coming down to your shop. And that's what he did. He come down the shop. He said, come on, let's go for a coffee. Where do you think things are going right and wrong with the channel?
Oh,
blah, 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 blah. And I thought that was unbelievable of him, really. Like, you know,
that's big. That is to rectify the mistake. And like you say, that's to show your importance to the channel for him to come down to the shop, 100%.
And he said to me, look, you know, I don't want you not to come on, like, you know what I mean, blah, 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 blah. So, and that was it. I got the award. And to this day, like, you know, that I've never, that award's never been in my house. I don't know where it is. Like, you know, even though they give me one, it was never felt right with me or whatever, like, do you know what I mean? So that was that. So what I'm trying to say is, with all the good highs, there's always a few lows, and it's how you react to them and whatever, like, you know. And it's never straightforward. We know when people go, oh, you've done this and you've done that. It's not always been straightforward and not easy, you know what I mean? That was a hard thing for me to take. Not on a, you've all, how can I say it? We've all got egos, and you know what I mean? And it took a little bit
of course, because it's not entitlement. It's, I've been a part of this. I've gone viral. I've added to this, because at the end of the day, you're a part of people's goes-tos on Aftv. You're one of the bankers I look for and others. So I still, even to this day, I still go look and go, all right, Aftv, hey, let me go and see what judges are saying on Aftv.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's about what you're feeling like, what you're deserving of. No more than anybody else, just a part of it, which you are.
It was a mad time. It was a mad time. You got to understand, this is all completely new to me as well, and things like that. So I didn't know how to handle the situation probably, but my ego took a little bit of a knock on that. I'm not going to lie, but for Robbie to come back and say, oh, I want to, you know, this and all that, like, you know, and that was it. There's still no financial gain in it for me or anything like that, like, you know, but I had lots of people. I'll be really honest, I had loads of messages. I can't thank everybody that messaged me on
that tells
Twitter,
you all you need to know, that the
saying,
people
like, you know, it was out of order. You're the main man, this and this and this, like, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. So it was a and I think realistically, like, the guys in social media, people probably picked up on this and said, oh, look, we've done a wrong in here, like, you know what I mean, you've got to look after him. And one of the guys, which will stay unnamed, phoned me up maybe a bit later on than that and said, look, you got to know your worth, you know what I mean, blah blah blah, you know, and things like that, and also said to me, which was a very, very good bit of advice, and I use this advice on a lot of people. He says to me, what did you get in Aftv for? What did you do? What was your goal on it?
Well,
and I said, nothing. So he said, so if you don't get nothing, you ain't lost nothing, have you? Think of all the things you've gained from it. And one of the things that I gained from it, and the best thing that I've ever gained from Aftv, if people say to me, what is it now? What's the best thing? The best thing is that the football players of my era, when I watched them, the Ian Wrights, Paul Mersons, Kevin Campbell, God bless his soul, all knew who I am. Like, you know, wherever I go now, players know who I am. Hello, Lee, how you doing? All right. And the old players really respectful of what I say. You know, Nigel Winterburn. I was in at the beginning of the season. I was in hospitality for the Arsenal friendly, and Jack Wilshere was in the next box. And he looked at me. I looked at him and I waved, and then he come over at the end of the game and turned around and said, "Hello, Lee, lovely to meet you." Now, he was still coaching at Arsenal's under-18s then when this happened, and he goes to me, "You happy?" So I said, "Yeah, I'm well happy." And he just went, "That's it. Our job is done. Lee Judges is happy."
Love that.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's testament to how much they respect and rate your opinion as well. For him to say that.
when I go to America on the tours, players come up to me, "How you doing, Lee? All right?" Like, you know, and I can be harsh to those players at times, but they know that I've got, you know, I'm a fan and I'm saying what I say.
It's from an honest place. That's why there's no malice in it. It's from an honest place, absolutely.
And listen, the best thing that ever happened to me of it all is Kevin said it wasn't, but I still believe that it was, that through this that me and Kevin become friends, because I'm going to a game one time and I get a message from Kevin. "Hello, Lee, I'm down filming for the game today. Like, you know, do you want to meet up afterwards for a drink?" You know what I mean? Like,
love that.
It was unbelievable. A gift of an ex-player asking her to go out for a drink. Now, I couldn't concentrate on that game because I knew that I was meeting Kevin later on and what I was going to say to him and all that, like, you know. And we met up that time, and this is a true story because we both said about this. We had to go. I said to him, "Look, what do you want to go to? You want to go to a wine bar or do you want a quiet bar? Or do you want to go where all my mates are? Let's go up to the." Can you imagine now? I'm going up to the pub
with Kevin Campbell, with you.
Kevin Campbell is an Arsenal player. But I got on the train. We'd only met each other 10 minutes. We're chatting away, and he's sitting on opposite me on the train station. I looked at him and I said, "I feel like I've known him for years, and like we was going to be mates."
Yeah.
A few years later, he said to me, "Do you remember we was on the train going to the pub?" I went, yeah. He went like, he goes, "I knew we was going to be mates forever after that." And I said,
"Love that, man."
Same thing. So we goes down the pub, and me and him become so close. But he said we'd have always met somewhere along the line. But I do believe it was through that. And so that was special. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously, like, I still haven't got over his passing. We become really, really close. And so they're the gifts that can get everything going. So when people say to me, "What do you want out of AFT?" I always say to them that just be yourself. Whatever comes, you know.
Absolutely.
And I say, like, the financial side for me and a job and all that comes later. But it was never that for me at that stage. It was just like, wow, Arsenal players know me.
Yes.
Like, old players.
That's the major part of it. Yeah, that's the main part of it. Like you said, not only are you venting, getting things off your chest, feeling better, it's about the legends, your heroes now know.
Yeah. Now, like, for me growing up, the first person that I ever watched football in Arsenal was Liam Brady. And I got invited to unbelievably, like, a function, and Liam Brady's on my table, like, you know what I mean. And I met him, and he says, "Oh, would you like a glass of wine?" So I've got Liam Brady as my waiter, you know what I mean, like, pouring me wine. And I just remember, like, you know, thank you, like, you know. I mean, it was a surreal moment. But the fella on our table, they had an auction where you'd bid to have a lunch with Liam Brady and David O'Leary, and this fella won it. And he said, "Oh, would you like to come, as one of the guests?" So it was up in London, posh restaurant in Italian. It was, you know, it was a great day, and we're sitting there with Liam and all that, like, and Liam got one of these, you know, like, what do they call, like, breadsticks?
Okay, yeah.
So, and he just got on and goes, "This is my impression of Lee," like, you know what I mean? Like, goes,
so you had the breadstick like it's been the microphone.
So he goes, "What do you think?" "I want them out. I want everybody out. I want everybody out," like, you know. Now that to me is surreal, because my dad, like, was in football and I've been in football. That when someone takes the mickey out of you, they accept you. Do you know what I mean? And
it's a sign of endearment, without question. It's a sign of endearment.
You know, whenever I see Liam now, we're great. You know what I mean? And that, you know, and it's just, you know, just magical things like that. Money can't buy that, and whatever, like, you know what I mean? That is the greatest thing for me. You know, like, the gift that where I am today, and I feel very, very honoured to have that. It's a privilege to have that, really.
No, of course, without doubt. So you've accelerated along extremely quickly from the first fan cam going viral to you continue to do fan cams. The numbers continue to go up. You got into podcasting itself. So what was that like? Like just going back a little bit, initially going into the first podcast, what was that like? Did you mentioned you enjoyed it? Was then
I really enjoyed it.
Was like I'm gonna do further. So yeah, what was it like initially?
I really enjoyed it. I was enjoying it. Craig unfortunately had some issues illness wise and things like that, so he stopped doing it, and it left me with a bit of a little bit of a gap of what to do. Dan had just been coming on the show as well. That's how I knew Dan. You know what I mean? And me and Dan Potts, we got on fantastically well.
Well,
and I'll be really honest with you. And two things. There's a couple of things advice I can give. Is don't worry about other people, because I'm now thinking, oh, shall I do my own channel or start a channel? And people, I think, there's a lot of people will be a lot of hate for it and all that, like, and I was wary of not upsetting people. I'm funny about thing. I don't really like people not liking me. You know what I mean? So I thought, oh no, I don't want to upset people if I get a channel like that. I'm normal. No, I just want to be a normal fan. But anyway, I was missing it. So I said to Dan, should we maybe do something, set up something, like, you know what I mean? I said, before I do it, I'll put it on a poll just to say, I'm thinking about doing my own channel. What do you reckon? Like, you know? So I've done it, and people are going, oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. So that's how that came about. That's how that came about.
And what year was this when you put up the poll and was deciding? Do you remember roughly what year and around the time it was?
4 or 5 years ago now, 3, 4 years. I don't know. I don't know when it was. You know what I mean? So we done that. And that's what me and Dan started doing, Lee Judge's TV. And the one thing I liked about that is, and I don't, it's not having to go at AFT. AFTV tell you what to do and whatever, but this is what I could do. Whatever I wanted to do, it was yours. My thing, you know what I mean? Like, and Dan's a fantastic presenter, and I don't mind doing presenting, but it's not my thing. Where I think that you've got to have a good presenter and someone that does that. So Dan sort of took over that sort of reins, and it was really like enjoyable from that point of view, like, you know, and it was I enjoyed doing it. I don't do it all the time. I'm not like you guys, you know, and Dan himself, fantastic, every day and everything like that. And I don't mean this to be cocky. I don't have to be on there every day.
Yeah, it's not cocky. Judges, you one of the goats in this. That's not cocky. That's just facts. I don't have to be out here every day. Facts. That's just what it is. Facts.
What's that? Dad's for joy. Yeah, I'll come on your podcast anytime. Someone saying that any time, like, you know. So
there you go. Reach out to him. The contacts there. I'm looking here. Yeah, your channel started March 25th, 2021.
Okay, so that's where it was. So, you know, it's a bit longer than what I thought. So that was it. So I enjoy that. I enjoy having a chat with that. Like, you know, we're doing the Monday thing now. Is probably that I thought, I don't know if I really want to do that. You know what I mean? Give up my Monday morning and whatever. Like, you know, I absolutely love doing that now, meeting you guys. And that's another great thing about this space and doing podcast. Like, we'd have never met, and all those guys. There's so many fantastic people out there doing football, and makes me very humble and makes me think to myself, that's how lucky I am, because people do want to listen to what I say. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I do. So I have to take that as an honour and a privilege, and I can't abuse that fact, you know, because there's a lot of people who I think are probably better than me, haven't had the breaks that I've had. I was fortunate, you know what I mean?
It's just different. I think people pay to you, like I said, because the things I mentioned in the intro, one, they're knowledgeable. You're talking players, there's Arsenal judges, there's Arsenal fans Arsenal players you've mentioned, who there'll be Arsenal fans watching this who won't know about. So a Liam Brady, a Kevin Campbell, a Paul Merson, for example. So not only do you have that on your side, which people can't replicate, you also then in the modern day era as well. So you can talk about the players now. You can talk about the 2000s, the most successful periods for Arsenal, and also entertainment. You make it like a lot. Everyone could talk football, but can you talk football in a digestible way that's entertaining, that's engaging? You do those things.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky. I've done some shows now. I've got a show coming out soon on Channel 5.
Oh, jeez.
And like,
let's go.
The director turned around and said, come up to me and said, do you realise you're very, very talented on one-liners and things like that? It's a gift. You've got a very gift of doing
humor. You got comedic timing, judges.
I said, you know, so I've got a little bit of that. So I'm very, very fortunate to have that. So listen, and that's what I you know, like I like to go and, you know, if anybody says like they want me to go on their podcast, I always try and help out because I know how tough it is. I know how tough it is out there. And I like to give back, like, you know, and I know how hard it is to work. And listen, I never went into this game to be famous. Never really went it. Well, a little bit, I suppose, like that way. But like, a little bit. Like, listen, come on, let's get it out there. Let's get it out there, right? I'm now when I go to anywhere, people come up and ask for a photo and whatever, like, you know.
Of course.
And you know, and you're not going to enjoy that. Of course I am, like, you know what I mean? Like, I went to America this year in Philadelphia. I had to be escorted out for security reasons because I was getting mobbed. Like, the woman security guard who was on a radio said, all these people around, look, we're going to have to get you out here because for safety reasons. Not just for you, but for everybody around. Like, it was just going mad. And she says, wow, you're a big star and all that. Like, and I'm going, no, I'm not, like, but that's how it is. So anybody who can say they're not going to enjoy that is...
You're a big star, man. Man, you got mobbed in a whole other country.
Yeah,
people don't get mobbed here. You a star. That's what I'm telling you.
It is mad. You know what I mean?
Not even a star.
It is mad. Yeah. I was with Kevin once on quick little story. We've gone to a drink, like, you know what I mean? And we're sitting in a pub and, you know, picture it like they've got the Sky Sports coming on. Kevin goes, in about 5 minutes, you're going to see 2 of my goals for Everton. And then, like, you know what I mean? So I said, oh, we're drinking. And then all of a sudden this bloke goes, wow, I can't believe it. And he's gone up to us. He's gone, Lee Judges, like, you know what I mean? He's gone to Kevin Campbell, like, you know, Arsenal legend, Everton legend. He's gone, you don't know how lucky you are to know him. Like, you know what I mean? Kevin, like, and Kevin's gone, oh, no, I'm so privileged. He's gone, like, you know what I mean? And just as he says this, Kevin's goals are going in, like, in this big screen at the back, like, and he's going, and the ball's gone in the back of the net. He's gone, yeah, I'm privileged, and I, like, you know what I mean? So we used to have fantastic banter, but, like, yeah, so you are going to enjoy that sort of stuff. You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Of course, you know, the first time someone comes up and asks you for a photo, it's fantastic. I've been like, I went on an holiday. We went to an holiday camp like once a few years ago now. It's a couple of years ago, and we turned up late, and we go with other families and all that, like. And as I walked in, there was my mate was sitting there, and the table was going, oh my God, that's Lee Judge. I can't believe he's here, like, you know. And I was getting mobbed, and like it was just mad. So I'm going to, of course, you enjoy that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Like, enjoy being celebrated like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie about that, like, you know what I mean, like. So, but it comes with a little bit of thing because people will turn around if you're having your photos. Well, what are you having your photo done with him, or like who's he think he is having a photo? So you've got to be a little bit wary of it and all that. But that's part and parcel of it. Comes into it. But you know, so all of this was now going on, and it's going mad, and when it all changes for me is lockdown. That's when everything changes. One phone call changed my life.
Before we get to that one phone call, big up to everyone locked in. Are you not entertained? Run up the likes. We got Lee Judges in the building. Sarcasm City TV special. This is what it's all about. Hit that like button on the video, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back. Subscribe to Lee Judges TV if you haven't. Link is in the title. Make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV as well. Hit the notification bell too. Also, before we get to the one phone call you mentioned that changed everything in lockdown. God, we can't just bypass it. Getting mobbed in Philadelphia. What was that like? We gotta go further. I know you mentioned it. That's gotta be like, where was you at? I want the full play-by-play in regards to where you was at in Philadelphia, what was going on, what it was like being mobbed, what it was like afterwards. We gotta go there.
You know, it is incredible. Like, you know, what happened was, it was on the tour. Like the last every time I've gone to America, it's just been mad. We had to have, I think it was, when was it? It might have been the year before. Once we had a fella called Steve who was American, fantastic, but he had to come around with us, and I was trying to get to somewhere, and he had to be there to say, "Oh no, you got to go, Lee. You got to go, Lee," because I was getting to. So what it does is it takes the heat off of me, not being arrogant or whatever, and it's pushed onto him. Like, do you know what I mean? So he would turn around and say, "No, you can't have no more, Lee. You got to go. You got to get to here." Like, you know. Yeah. So that's what it was like. That was the first experience of it. It was mad. It was mad. When I going to Philadelphia, my mate Andy lives out in America. I used to play football with him years ago. He's got a box for the game against Liverpool and Arsenal out in Philadelphia. He says, "Come to my box." So I goes up into the box. So when I comes out of the box, Robbie come with us. We've got Robbie and a couple of others come. Like, I don't know if Turkish come to that or not. Like, he definitely come 1 year to it. Anyway, I got sort of. They'd gone because I had to go do the interviews. That's right. They'd gone down to do the interviews and all that. But I said, like, I'll stay up here for a little while because I ain't seen Andy for a little while, and then we'll go out a little bit later. So that's what happened. So now I'm on my own and I'm coming down, and then someone recognised me, and within like I was being pushed up against the railings and things like that, and like, you know, trying to get all these photos, having these photos done and all that. And then the next minute, this security guy comes through and this woman comes through and says, "Oh, hi man, really sorry, we're going to have to get you out of here," because they must have seen it from the cameras or something like that.
So they would have seen everyone crowding towards one person and would have been like, "What's that?"
You're looking like a dangerous situation. Yeah. So they said, "Look, we're going to have to get you out of here for your safety, but for everybody else's safety. Once we get you out to the outside the stadium, it opens up, and you know, I mean, it ain't so bad, but it was like, you know, I was like wall to wall here, like, you know." So so you can imagine I've got these two big security guards and this woman, like, and everybody's
looking like a real celebrity.
Yeah, following me out. Like, like, you know what I mean? It was sort of saying, look, you get out of Hollywood or something like that, you know what I mean? And then when I went outside, then it was like, you know, having the photos and everything like that. We had one in America, I think it was in the Man United game. Do you remember the year before when we played at the Met Stadium?
I know what you're talking about, that game, yeah.
We was having like loads of people having photos and that, and the security come out and give us water and said, look, you know, so we're drinking water, like, you know, so it's that is crazy. Wherever you go abroad, it is massive, you know. I can tell loads of stories. Like, I was with my partner Michelle sitting on the plane, and someone excuse me, could you move to Michelle, like, and I said, because I want to have a photo with Lee, like, so Michelle moved out. This fella's to come and have a photo, and I had to have a photo, and she got back up and went, "Oh, thank you very much, Michelle." No problems, like, you know what I mean? So so it's just mad world, world, and you know, wherever I go. The other great thing is I got like the a charity game for my mate who's got cancer on Friday, and you know, I've been able to do a podcast with him with Aftv and highlight all that. To be asked to go and play charity games of football, big thing for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even some team I've got to do managing one where I'm managing ex-Arsenal players to do one.
Yeah,
like, they want me to be the manager, and so all things like that. You know, they're just great things. So changed my life. Well, as it's changed, and I quickly before we go to the phone call, coming back to it, I had a little bit of trouble at a game where a few people were a little bit jealous and wanted to attack me and all that, like, you know. So you get a little bit of that, And anyway, nothing really happened and whatever. But like, we got people, you know, in the company and everything like that, and they said to me, look, perhaps you got to think about not going to the pubs before and after games, because And I said, yeah, but I just want, I want to be a fan and all that. And the fella said to me, but you're not an ordinary fan no more. It has changed for you. You've got to realise that it has changed. And so my life from that way has changed completely as well, where I can't be one of the lads no more.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've had to accept, you know what I mean? Like that.
It's what comes with it, unfortunate, like you said, with the negativity as well. That's
there's
one of
always
the
a little, with all the great stuff, you're always going, it doesn't matter if you're a professional footballer, whatever you do, you know, like you're not always going to be loved and liked for whatever reason. And so I had to take that into consideration and make changes. But listen, that's one change that I had to make. With all the great stuff that I have, it ain't the end of the world. So, and I had to realise that, I'm not, without being cocky and all that, like, you know, I'm not just an ordinary fan now. Like
no, you're not. That's not even being cocky. That's just facts. Right. You went viral off your first fan cam. You're a regular on Aftv. You know how many people back then, especially, wanted to be a regular? No, don't forget being a regular. Just wanted to be on Aftv. Period. You was on there frequently. Like, and what I keep saying was a go-to. Yeah, go on, judges.
I had a thing. I don't know about every now and then. Like, this is how it works, right? When you go on to Sky Sports, for instance, they phone you up and ask you if you can go on, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was when Kai Havertz got injured. They phoned me up and said, "Oh, you in the area?" And so I said, "Yeah, like, I am. I'm at the studio. Like, would you come down and do an interview?" So that's how it works. And then, like, you get on Twitter and all that, people going, "Oh, look at him hanging outside the Emirates all day to get on Sky Sports and that." Like, you know what I mean? And you just look at that and you really want to comment and going, "Don't be like, don't
be an idiot. Yeah, don't be stupid."
Yeah, like, I'm not. I don't do that. You know what I mean? But you have to let that go. You have to say, "Oh, yeah, fair enough," and all that. Like, but listen, I know what happens. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is, like, you know. So, and not, you know, and if you, I'm lucky, like, you know, I've got a thing with Talk Sport that I do.
And hey man, all these accolades, man.
Like, you know, accolade after accolade. Myself on that sort of stuff. It's only when they ask and
they reach out to you for a reason, and this is why I brought you on for this. This is why you wanted to go to this.
Time people go on, we don't want him on because he's from Aftv or he's not a proper fan. You know what I mean? Like, so we get it works, but most of the time, like, you know, it's all good. And listen, as I say, if you go into this game. And I call it a game because you know, it is. You are gonna not please everybody, and you're not gonna. So you've got to have a thick skin. You've got to don't react to people. I'll tell you, one of the footballers always said to me that, you know, they've all got an opinion which you respect, but they don't know you, and you don't know them. And that's a great thing about it, really. Like, you know what I mean? No one knows that don't know me doesn't know how I click or do what I do.
It's all football. It's just you giving your opinion on the game, on players, on a player, on etc.
Mad man on TV or whatever going shouting and screaming. I can tell you, away from football, I'm not like that. Just in football, I am like, you know what I mean? So it's
you passionate. You know what I'm saying? You Arsenal through and through, so that makes sense.
You know what? You know. Well, even when I play football, if someone kicks me,
I could trust me. I would stay. Do you play midfield? Where do you play?
Yeah. So I've had to.
Yeah, see, I play midfield. I'd stay away from you if we were playing.
I had to look after myself and stuff. But if I'm playing cricket and someone bowls me out first ball, well played. You know what I mean? Like, and off I go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't one of these kicking down the stumps and everything like that. But football. Someone only has to do something like, and that's it, you know what I mean? So it's just the way I am in football, like, you know. But I love all sports. You know, if I love me tech cricket. People go, I really enjoy the summer because I go off and watch Yorkshire. Big Yorkshire fan. I go and watch Yorkshire. Watch that. I love me tennis and all that, like, you know. So in the summer, I switch right off from things. So people don't know that. People don't know, you know.
I'm a cricket fan more so, like. Years back, not so much as of now, but cricket.
Yeah, so
obviously growing up in a West Indian household, man knows about cricket.
Yeah, well, like great times, and like you get to meet a few of the cricketers, and you know, and some of them know you, and they go, "It's you, isn't it?"
Wait, which cricketers know you? We ain't just gonna bypass that. Which cricketers? I know some. Which cricketers know you? Like England internationals, Yorkshire internationals.
Johnny Bairstow, a cup of coffee. I've sat in a coffee queue with, and like he turns around and I said, he said, "Oh, I don't like the coffee they bring up there's crap." So he was getting a cup of coffee and chatting to him, and so like a few cricketers, I've met, and so. Luckily, again, because you get all these sort of things, you get like you get to get invited to things, and people like want to, and you get to meet these guys, and so it's great. Like hospitality at Yorkshire is fantastic, and that was one of the things when I was in Leeds one time and sitting there minding my own business, and people were coming up and going, "Oh, can I have a photo? Can I have a photo?" And I remember forgetting, Michelle turned around and said, "Wow, if people have recognised you in Leeds, this is getting big now."
See,
like,
even the missus is telling you, like, people
and so that was it, like, you know what I mean? So good times, like, so
love that. So you're still, like I say, so the time frame, we're still working on Aftv, you're going viral, you're being recognized, you're doing the podcast, haven't launched your own channel yet, because 2021 was around COVID times, and that's when you launched your own channel. What was
I launched the channel after COVID, like, I think that definitely was. I perhaps should have done it in lockdown. I don't know. But there's just another quick thing, like where my shop is. There's a couple of schools by. I could never be in the shop doing the front at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock,
the kids will come rushing out.
Yeah. So like this is how mad it's getting now. Like, you know what I mean. So at 3 o'clock, I had to go. Someone else had to go serving. Like, you know what I mean. So lockdown happens, and I get this call, and it's the call that changes my life completely. And it's from Robbie. We want you to come and do some watch-alongs. We'll pay you to come and do some watch-alongs in the studio. We're allowed to do it because it's work. Yeah. And I said to him, well, all right, the shop was closed and everything like that. And I said to him, well, I'll do it because, it's a bit of extra cash, but it ain't going to work. You know what I mean? No one's going to watch this. It's, but I'll bite your hand off it, like, So he said, right, well, we're going to do it to the end of the season. There's a contract for 3 months, I think it was. And that was a call that changed my life, because watch-alongs come along. Yeah. And people see your personality and whatever. And now comes another thing that I've never heard of, a meme.
You became I've used you as a meme before, like at certain points. Like people have mentioned it in the chat already. You become a meme.
And then the meme.
He's done it again.
I've made a fortune out of that. Let me tell you, like, because that was another thing. I was asked to go on Cameo, and I said, no, I'm not going. I don't want to go on it. I don't want to. I'm not famous and everything like that. And Robbie said to me, look, you're mad if you don't go on it. People will want you to go on it. And I was a bit worried about it, because I think, like, well, I'm going to put myself on there. No one's going to want me on it, like, it'd be embarrassing and all that. Like, so Cameo kept finding out, we feel you're going to be really positive for the thing and everything like that. Yeah. And you can imagine what everybody's birthday is like, you know what I mean? Like, they go, happy birthday, Flawless, you dirty, horrible bastard, have a great day. That's all I do. That is all I do. And so I've been on that, and that's gone crazy. That was crazy over lockdown. But obviously the lockdown and the watch-alongs were the thing that really made it for me. As people,
I'm just looking here at this Cameo thing. I didn't even realize this. Like, we just bypassing this. Book a personal video. I'm looking at. Let me screen share it now for people on here so they know exactly what this Cameo is. Because I was like, all right, let me check this out. Look,
I never knew what it was. I never knew what it was. You know what I mean? Like, and that is all you do. And I've got in the
love this.
I don't know what it was like. You imagine this goes all over the world. This does, and there's proper there's proper actors and all that lot.
Hi, Ryan. Lee Judge is here now. I understand it's your birthday, 32, so I'm here to wish you a happy birthday. Sam and Jasmine have asked me to send you a birthday wish for you. Now, listen, I understand you're a Norwich fan and you like the catchphrase, he's done it again. Well, Ryan, you dirty horrible bastard, you've done it again. 32 years of age. Listen, have a fantastic time on your birthday. I understand you're travelling around with your girlfriend, Lottie. Listen, have a fantastic time. And listen, I hope you had a fantastic Christmas and have a fantastic birthday. Happy New Year to you all. Have a good one. Take care. Jack Wilshere at Norwich, so I hope Norwich do well. And maybe we'll see you in the Premier League in a year or so. Take care. Have a good one. Take care. Happy birthday, mate. You've done it again, you dirty horrible bastard. All right.
Yeah. So that's things that you do. It's just mad world. So I do all of them now, and I think it's going all around. I got a thing come through where I was in the top 50 birthday message, which is when you think that's all around the world, that was a big privilege. So I've done that, and again, it's just some bit of fun, and that's all they ask for is you've done it again, you dirty bastard. That's all I do, and but that's when it went mad, and because then I've got the decision. Well, the decision comes in after the 3 months. It's done. The following season is on, but there's no one allowed to go. Do you remember that for that whole season? We've got no.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. That you couldn't go around.
It was. If you remember rightly, I think that the season finished in about August, didn't it? It went for. Once it come back for 3 months, and that was it. But then the following season, they'd made the announcement that there's going to be Premier League football, but it's all going to be behind closed doors. And so then, I got the contract for the year, and to do every one of them games on the watch along. And that was the making of me then. So when we goes back to the thing. The business in the dry cleaning was not as good because of COVID. People only going to the office and all that. The fella that owned the shop, we had an agreement where it was a running contract for a year. So there was no solicitors involved, whatever, and because every 5 years you'd have to do a thing and forfeits if you didn't do it. But we'd had a good arrangement. He had a chance to sell it to another business, and I had an offer to go full time.
Jeez.
So that was it then. So that was the decision I had to make. So I decided, okay, I'll do that. I sold, and the last day I walked out of the business was in July. 2 weeks later, I was on a plane going to Orlando for the Arsenal tour, and the rest is history, you know what I mean? So so that was it, and that's what done it. Again, a little bit of luck, a little bit of a break, and my life then that day changed. That was the day that it all changed.
Forever.
Forever. You know what I mean? So now I do what I do, and have an unbelievable life following Arsenal around at every game.
Yes.
Home and away, Europe.
You're there.
And it's just a great life. And other things come on top of that as well, as I say, and a bit of acting. I've done a bit of acting now, not a lot.
Oh, what acting did you do? Talk to us, judges, man. Just go. What adverts? You ain't just bypassing that like it's just normal to do adverts. Like it's just normal to be on Cameo. Like it's just normal to get mobbed in Philadelphia. No, judges, we're not doing this. What's the acting? We ain't doing this. Like that's not the norm. That is not the norm. We celebrating over here.
I've done a little bit. I've done a thing for the one for BBC was I can't even remember what it was now. It was it's a few years ago, and I go to the BBC. It was in a shoot next to Millwall's ground. It was and it was a taxi. I had to get into a taxi. I'd been into a night out, and it was unbelievable where they get this taxi, that people sit on it and all that. Like there's people walking past with lights and things like that, pretending to be the other cars and things. Fascinating to be on a set like that. So I goes into they do these things like a green room where they've got food, drink, and all that. It was a night shoot as well. So I'm in there and these two girls in there and this other fella. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're two girls on a night out, and they're learning their lines as they're doing it and all that. And then there's another actor going on, being a businessman coming from a business meeting, getting into this cab. So I said, "What are you doing?" So I said, "Oh, I'm just playing myself." So when I get to the thing for my scene, he says, "Right, I want you to get into the cab."
Yeah.
And the cab driver's just going to go like, "Oh, where you been?" I said, "I came back from the Arsenal." And he's going to go, "God, they're crap, weren't they? Like Spurs much better." And then you just go into this, you know what I mean, like cab driver. You know what I mean? So man, Arteta don't just started and they weren't very good at the time. So he said that, and then Spurs are the biggest team in London now. I said, "Who do you think you are?" Like, you know what I mean? And I'm having a go at his cab driver. Okay, "What are you, the Arteta of cab world, are you? You know, like naive and useless and all that." Like, cut, he goes over the old director. "That's it, that's what we want, that's fantastic." You've got some bloke sitting on the bonnet going like that, so it looks like the car's moving and all that. So I've done all that scene, done it. So he said, "Now you've got to go." And I had a chaperone with me on this day, like, this night. So he said, "Oh, you've got to go and do your outtakes now, like,
Yeah.
So I've gone, "Oh, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they?" I ain't got a clue, like, so I've got to think I know what I'm talking about here. Like, so I said, "I don't know what." She says, "Oh, what happens now is that we go away from here to a road, and we film you getting in and out of the cab. That's your out." So you've got all the stuff in it. Right? So, this car comes along, you flag it down, you get into the cab, shut the door, then you get out of it. That goes into the scene as well, like, So that's what I've done there. And I've done some adverts and, of course, been a model for Lyle and Scott, you know what I mean?
Talk about it, man. Yeah, man. I see you recently. I love that.
Yeah,
modeling. What was that? What's it like getting reached out for contacted about adverts and modeling and things of that nature?
Asked you to do these things and everything like that. And I got the one from Lyle and Scott. I said, "We want you." I thought it was. I had to have a look and see. It was April the 1st or something like that. You know what I mean? Someone giving me a wind up, like me being the model. And I done that thing for Lyle and Scott, and you get a load of stuff given to you, like bloody good stuff as well. And I got a message from them about 2 weeks later going, "Oh, we've had fantastic reaction from your videos to a lot of other people. Like they've got proper models and all that, like, and they weren't getting the same sort of reaction. So, like, I'm blessed. I am, you know what I mean? Like, doing this model stuff, and I'm getting like reactions better than Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? So I'll take that, like, you know what I mean? So so like that's one of my things now is to just like one of these football films, just to get a little cameo in.
You want a little cameo in like a Football Factory type of thing?
Yeah,
that's on its way. You'd be perfect in that. Actually.
Something like that would be. I don't want one line or something would be great, but I've done I've done a few. Like another adverts coming out, so I can't say too much about it, but that's coming out soon. And
we'll get to that at the end. I don't even know you can't talk too much. Just obviously we don't want to.
So that's how my life's gone now, and I've been very, as I say, very, very fortunate. And like one of the gifts was meeting Kevin, because Kevin's been famous for a lot longer than I ever be, and I'm not in his league for obvious reasons. But he always give me a bit of advice. Would always, I was a couple of years older, but if things weren't going, something would happen. He would always give me great, and I miss all of that, because he'd give me a bit of advice here and everything like that. And one of the things that he said to me, and we both agreed on, was he said that if someone come up to him or someone come up to me and said, "Since you've been doing this, you've changed," that would be a big.
That's a problem.
problem for me. Like
Major
I've seen
problem.
other people in this industry change, and I you know, and I think that Kevin always give me some really ground advice when I was, you know, like, to be honest, you get a lot of jealousy in family and friends when you're doing all this thing, because that you know that you do chat like you're doing unbelievable things.
Yeah, because you're starting to being celebrated and you're on TV and people are talking about it. Like I said, it's fame that comes with it, and opportunity.
Kevin said to me, like, he goes, with all your success, there's always someone that is a little bit jealous. Do you know whose problem that is? It's not yours.
Yeah,
it's theirs. So don't worry about. And if that person is like that, be the same to them as you are. If it's a family member or a friend or whatever, just be exactly the same to them as you were before you was doing this sort of stuff. So I've took that on board. Little things like that, and you know, the biggest compliment I could give Kevin was when we went out. Like me, we used to go out. Michelle, Marcia, and Mark. We used to meet up in Manchester and all that. Now Michelle and Marcia don't really know too much about football. They would never. They just said, we don't know him as Kevin the footballer. We just know him
just as Kevin. Yeah, just him as a human being.
And that is the best thing for somebody, like, you know, you don't know. Listen, footballers change and there's actors that change and everything like that. He never did. He was just the same. And I like to think, you know, I've got a big picture of him up on my wall now, like, you know, me and him. But I'd like to, he gave me that advice, and very, very, when it was just starting for me, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I've took that on board, you know, be grateful for what I've got, be thankful for it, work hard, be yourself, and don't try and impress people for the sake of it. Just be yourself. And that's the advice that I give everybody wanting to be a podcaster, wanting to be doing that. Just be yourself, because if you're not, you will get found out.
Yes.
You will get found out.
The mask will slip eventually. Yeah, you will get found out.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, what you see is what you get with me. I'm not no different on camera to I am when I'm off camera.
Yeah, off camera, you do exactly like, yeah, I can vouch for that. People, like, when it comes, like, Judge's hate on camera for Spurs is the exact same as his hate for Spurs.
It's not nothing I do is false or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's how I have been. You know what I mean? A great story. I won't say the actual words. He said, I met Teddy Sheringham, and he came up to me, like, we was in Dubai, and he turned around and said, like, why don't you celebrate Harry Kane's goals? I said, because he plays for Spurs. So I said, I'll tell you another thing. Like, when you was playing for England, I didn't celebrate any of your goals.
When you was playing for Spurs.
And he went, you know, he goes, you know what you are? I went, no, what am I? And he went, you're a see you
next Tuesday.
Yeah, we had a laugh about it. And he said, you know what? Fair play to you. I get it. Yeah. And we had a great few days together. And so much so that we were sitting at the table, and there's with another couple as well, and he got his little boy to come over and said, my dad reckons you shouldn't support Arsenal, and he's sitting there going like that. We had a great time, but yeah, I never celebrated. Well, I regret that now. I'd actually said, because
because people are mentioning it. Obviously, Harry Kane scored. You're not celebrating the goals, so yeah, your thought process into it then.
I celebrated goals now. He's Bayern Munich. I don't celebrate. Listen, Harry Kane might be the nicest guy. Well, I know that he is, because I've got my mate Glenn is Ryan Mason's son, which of course played for Spurs.
Okay.
And they're best friends and all that. Listen, he says Harry Kane's the nicest guy, and I mentioned that he is, but he played for Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that they should take it personal, and they don't, like, you know. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of professional footballers, I won't name names, Arsenal players as well, that have come up to me and shook me hand and said, love it.
Of course, because they respect the honesty, because there's no malice in it. It's just you being honest.
Yeah.
And if you're a real person in yourself, you're comfortable. You just be honest.
Others will say I'm a dick about it. I get that. I'm not as passionate about England that I am with Arsenal. And if we're playing rugby, cricket, Big England cricket fan. Love going to England cricket and all that. Like very, very passionate because I've not invested in that like I am Arsenal.
Got you.
How can you celebrate a player scoring a goal like Harry Kane, for instance, has just ruined your weekend the weekend before? I haven't slept for 2 days because of him. Right? You know what I mean? I've got all of my Spurs mates phoning me up and giving me stick, and then you want me to go and cheer him the next. I can't do that.
No, that's fair. That's very fair.
That's how I feel about it. You
No,
know?
that is very, very fair. Extremely fair. And like I said, that seems to be a common theme with you speaking with whether it's Arsenal players or non-Arsenal players coming up to you saying, we love what you do. Because they respect the honesty because it's from an honest place. There's no malice. You're not personal. You're not being nasty. You are commenting on a player's performance in a game or his level overall. Same way with the manager. Same way with a match.
And do you know why I hate Harry Kane? Because he's bloody good. Because he's bloody good. Teddy Sheringham didn't like him because he's bloody good.
He's Teddy Sheringham, very good player, very good striker.
Do I hate what's the one that plays for Chelsea? Who used to play for Chelsea, it plays for Spurs now, who's rubbish on the wing.
Who are you talking about? William? Not William.
Played for Chelsea, he's German. He plays on the right.
Oh, you're talking about Timo Werner?
Timo Werner. Do I hate him? I don't care less about him. You know
talking about Timo Werner.
Did I hate Roy Keane? Why did I hate Roy Keane?
Because of the standard.
Because he was a bloody good player. Paul Scholes, I hated him. So, you know, I mean, like, I'm not going to cheer him when he scores for England and all that, like, you know. But, you know, but there is a respect for him, like, you know, David Beckham and all that, like those guys, you know what I mean? Rio Ferdinand, couldn't stand him, like, as a footballer. But that's because they were hurting me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Costing Arsenal at them times.
Costing us titles and whatever, like, you know. So you respect them. You know what I mean? Like, Harry Kane, I've got the utmost respect. I think he's one of the best footballers of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like him
because he plays for a rival. He plays for the enemy. Exactly. I understand it. I understand. You know what would I get it.
Make me look really stupid.
Go on.
If he signed for Arsenal and starts banging in goals, I love him.
Yeah, of course, because he's scoring goals for Arsenal.
Makes me look an absolute lemon, but that's what it does. You know what I mean? I didn't really like Sol Campbell, but I love him now.
Yeah, you look sold out. Oh, you look sold out.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like,
you know, someone said to me yesterday, did you hate what Addy Bayor done when he ran to the stadium? You remember that day that he ran to? Mm-hmm. It didn't bother me.
I see.
I thought fair play to you. Mm. But when he went to Spurs, he became number one enemy. Number one enemy. He could have run round, done what he liked, thrown his shirt at me at that time, right?
Yeah, because he's a City. You'd be like, all right, fair play.
Fair play. I don't got no.
But he went to Spurs.
Went to Spurs, like, you know, you're finished, mate. You're done.
You know what, though? I respect it and I understand the pay. I'm the same way, so I get it. I fully understand. I am the same way with Liverpool. I am the same way with your mob. I'm the same way with City. Yeah. Like, I get it. Leeds. Like, I don't like the rivals. This thing, I don't mind them. No, I want them to lose all of the time. People like, really? Yes, they don't affect you. Don't care. Leeds are in the championship. Don't want them to get promoted. Don't care. You know, rival on. I mean, whether they're a threat to us or not, keep them there.
Yeah,
he was there for 16 years. I should have been 16 more. Fuck them. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Fuck them. What are we doing? This is the rivalry. I can't stand them. What are we talking about here? You know, some joking. But what you've not mentioned, so obviously you were in the COVID era. You've got the phone call from Robbie. You've then part-time. You've then become full-time. You're continuing to go clear. Numbers are great. You're going viral. You're on socials. Your own channel. What was that like launching? And what was your ideas? The first ideas for content on the channel?
We've had some good ideas. We've done some brilliant things. We've done Wimbledon. Dan's done the Formula One. We've done a modelling shoot that we've done. We had little ideas. We've still got some ideas where we want to do a little golf thing, like going around all that. But it's very difficult with getting camera people and things like that because I'm technology. I'm no good at that. You know, what I mean, that's Dan's department. He's very, very good at all of that. He sets everything up. You know, top guy. But I you know, we've got about 40-odd thousand. I think about 43,000.
Yeah, you might have do. I think you got big numbers on.
Yeah, we get big numbers on it, like, you know, and you know, like at the end of the day, I could push it a little bit more and do other things on it and all that. But I said, like, you know, it's more of a fun thing for me to do, like, you know, and enjoy and yeah, I love it. I actually love. I do love. It's incredible when you think about it. You can talk to people around the world from your living room or like we are now.
Yes.
And
worldwide.
and get to know. And do you know what? You get to know different people.
Yeah.
In this environment, there's a different set of people to the set of people you do on different things. You know, and I love doing the channel. I love doing the Forever Arsenal podcast. When that
talk about that, because Turkish spoke about that yesterday. What was your getting involved in that like what was that like in the early days?
That was an incredible thing because we had like the four of us, and I obviously knew Turkish, James and Jordan. Didn't really know Jordan that well, just knew that he was on Channel 4 and everything like that. And what they wanted to do was they'd done it on a you know, like what do they call it, where it's not on the main channel, it's on
was it on someone else's channel? Is that what it was?
No, what do they call it, like
what do you mean?
It's on like Aftv.
Oh, is it an Aftv extra? 1 second.
Something like that. Yes, it was. I can't explain what it was, but you know what I mean, you get extra content if you subscribe to it or something like that. I don't know what.
So it was like a Patreon type thing. Was it behind the paywall?
Like
was it a backup channel? Yeah, people are looking at it. Yeah, I remember this.
It was something like that.
AFTV
so that's what we was doing, and I just enjoyed it. Nothing major and all that. And then they turned around and said, we're going to put it on YouTube now, you know, and go for it. And it's just gone absolutely crazy. And like, we've all got different opinions, but we all get on. We have a laugh, and it's just an amazing little chemistry that we got. And yeah, sometimes you just put something up, and you don't really know how it's going to go, and it goes fantastically well. And yeah, so that's fantastic. That gets unbelievable numbers. That's in the 100,000s.
Yeah. Time. It was AFTV extra now, like you mentioned.
Yeah, AFTV extra now. Yeah. So like, you know, that you know gets it, which is incredible. But I get as much satisfaction out of the thing we do on a Monday, where when we first started it was like 100 views. Now we're in the 600-700. And sometimes we're nearly getting to 1,000, you know, tuning into that. I get a big buzz out of that because it's something that we're starting to grow. It's something that we're all trying to do. And hopefully it will push us on to do other things better, like, you know, and that's how I look at that. And yes, I'll get as much satisfaction. You know, you get job satisfaction. They're the things that give you the job satisfaction. The podcasts. You know, we've done a podcast this week with Adrian, and talking about, you know, like making people aware of cancer, and you know, obviously Adrian's got cancer, and we're doing this thing for him on Friday. But to be able to do that, and then people commenting like, "Oh, I'm going to get tested," and things like that. It's such a powerful thing.
It's bigger than football. That's what that is.
Yeah, and you can influence people to do that and get a test or whatever. Is big things for me. So I think that, you know, as much as going to games is fantastic, and you know, like they're doing the road trips and things like that are brilliant when you're behind the scenes and all that. I've always loved things like that when you've done. Do you know, if you see, like, and I always think it's a great thing if you do the show and they do the outtakes with all the cock-ups or
Oh yeah,
behind the
you'd have to
scenes
have
and
the
things like
outtakes with the cock-ups. Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
all that stuff, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and going behind the scenes of different things, and we do that with the road trips and things like that. So, and I love doing all of that, but there is that satisfaction when you get in front of a podcast or do something like, you know, and it doesn't have to be like live; it can be recorded and all that, and you help somebody out, or it makes somebody. Then you know, like a lot of people come back to me, oh, thanks for getting me through lockdown and things like that. You know, I mean, what an unbelievable thing for someone to say. You know, that you can help people's
Yes, you can help them through.
life.
Yeah, 100% you can, without doubt, without doubt.
And
You
you know,
do.
that's fantastic. Like, you know, so yeah, so you know, and the other thing is for me, and I don't mention it when I say that, you get to meet some great people.
Good people, you do get to meet some
Great
great
people that are
You do.
working hard, doing their bit, and making something of their lives. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm very proud to be a part of that community. If you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
like, you know, and if I've influenced people to go out and do their channels and earn money
You
doing what they
influence
love, wow, you know what I mean? And that's the blessed thing now. You know, I've been in jobs where, you know, I used to work in a factory. Maintenance, and I used to have to do shifts, like, you know, 6 till 6 till 2, 2 till 10, getting up in the morning. Oh,
yeah, like, been there. Hey, been there, judges. Ah, Jesus, nothing worse than that. Getting up for a job you hate.
Yeah, and you got to, you know, you've got to do it. So I think because I've had that, you know, now I get up every day. Every day is like I don't have weekends no more. Weekends are not most weekends. You know, like you're working sort of thing. Like,
yes,
you
you're working.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Every day is
facts.
a great day. Every day I don't get up and think, oh, I've got to be here, I've got to be there. I get up and I look forward to the day and whatever it brings. Like today, I haven't really done. I've had a day off today. I've met for a coffee, had a chat with her, and then I said, I've got to do this at 4 o'clock. So that was it. And now I'm off to 6 aside in a minute. That's my day to day. But that's because of the international break and all that. Like, and that's what I choose to do. But then from next week, it gets busy again. But you know, I love it. You know, I mean, I'm very, very fortunate to be where I am and love it. Like, you know.
No, definitely 110%, and influence people, including myself. Like I said, many others, and I include myself in this. You was the go-to on you still are. Even now, I'm fortunate enough, and I appreciate you. I'm fortunate enough to know you, number one, and two, you've brought me onto your channel, which I really appreciate as well. Still now, AFTV, I'll go and look for your fan cam. Still now, I'll watch you and Potts on the recap. 110%. Without that, because just because I now know you doesn't mean I stop being a fan. I'm just fortunate enough, I'm blessed enough to know, hey, I can shout judges. That's still crazy to me. I'm like, hey, judges, can you do this for me? And you just got back to me straight away. Yeah. What time? And then that was
100%. Listen, I like to think now that you know that you can ask me to do whatever you want me to do. I'm always there for you, like, you know what I mean?
Appreciate
like,
that.
As I said, like the guys, I don't know who they were, saying that they're going their podcast, of course. You know what I mean? Like I do, you know, as I say, like if you've got to give back.
Yes.
When you can't always be in life of take. You've got to give as well. Like, you know, if there's a bit of my time that I can give to help someone else out, you know, I of course I do that. Like, you know, it's sometimes you can't do it all the time. You know, you can't.
Yeah, because you get busy because you're doing your own thing, but you do it when you can. Yeah.
But if I can, you know, I always will do, and especially like the guys on the you know, I didn't know any of you guys when I'd done that.
No, you didn't, because it was through Potts. Yeah.
And what a bunch of guys. I think I only, you know what I mean, knew Henry really, you know, but what a bunch of guys, and you know, all doing their bit, all, you know, trying to do, you know, have a good life.
Grafting, yeah, everyone's grafting, everyone's working towards something.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. You know, when you people go like, well, you can do this. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do it, right? But you've got a graft there. You can't. It's not going to be given to you. Anything that anybody's got in this world that we do, have had to graft for it.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, as I say, like, you know, there were times when I was standing outside the ground 20 minutes, missing a train to just do, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's the sacrifice. That's the sacrificing part, especially when you've Arsenal have lost and it's cold as well.
Yeah.
Those two things.
And still people do that now for no other gain than just doing it for themselves or whatever, like, you know. And I see guys standing outside there trying to be the next Robbie, trying to be the next Lee, trying to be the next Flawless and whatever, trying their hardest and all that, like, you know. Fair play to them.
100% Graft.
I mean, like, there's, you know, this space and everything there is. When I first started watching football, there was none of these opportunities. None of these opportunities. It was like
none.
BBC and whatever, like, you know. And now all the opportunities are there for you, but you gotta
graft.
You got to graft. No one gives you nothing. I've been very, very lucky. Been fortunate and on a lot of things, but as I try, hopefully I have explained. If people do listen to it, it's not always been plain sailing. It's not always.
It's not. There's going to be in any space, especially like this. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be setbacks that do test you. Yes.
And like when me and Dan started up the channel and doing Lee Judges TV, we was getting no views, nothing, like, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, nothing. No, you know what I mean. Now people.
Now you get big. Now you do very, very good numbers.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know.
That, you know, is fortunate because of the background that I've got, and Dan, you know what I mean. Like, but you know, like, I didn't know Dan, and it was just like he said, oh, it was his mate. Craig knew his brother-in-law, and they said, oh, he'd like to come on, and he's done this. Now Dan started up just like that, just grafting all that, and he thought, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I'm pretty good at it. So I'm going to give it a go, and you know, listen, it's not been plain sailing for him neither, and as it's surely not has been the same for you and everybody. Like,
definitely not just plain sailing and easy, and everyone thinks it's absolutely not.
I wouldn't say it's graft because I know what graft is like. Getting up on a building site at 8 o'clock in the morning and working till 10 till it's going to work when it's dark, coming home when it's dark. Now listen, I've done that and everything like that. We're fortunate that people will want to sit here and listen to us and things like that. But it's still, you still got to put it in. You got to put the hours in. You got to put the miles in, like, you know.
That's it. That's what I think the graft is. I think it's more so it's the time consuming. That's what it is. You can't cheat this. You have to sacrifice time.
And you have to keep coming up with different ideas.
That's also too, yes.
Different things you can talk about. Right? What's there to talk about? The one great thing about football is there's always something coming on. Like,
there's always something new.
There's something new. Every single game, there's something change. That changes. So we're very fortunate like that. But you imagine if it was just international football all the time, you'd be struggling.
Oh, yes.
Because you've got to find something to do and whatever, like, you know. And you know, people come up with clever ideas, you know what I mean? Like Saeed come up with this tier thing the other day.
The tier list that has absolutely caused madness.
It's a genius. You know, and what I loved about it is he put all I think a lot of the better people down the bottom for obvious reasons. Quality. You know, that is a quality thing. Someone on Forever Arsenal, it weren't me, that decided to do the draft for the Emirates era, which has done us good. You know what I mean? Like, got to think of different things, and that's what you know, anybody that there and listen, you're putting yourself out there. It's all right in a pub. You can turn around and say Arteta's rubbish or Arteta's great. But if you in this space and whatever, you put yourself above the firing line, you're there to be shot at. So everything you say, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, and all that, is there somewhere. There, it's there. So
because these things are recorded, and that's what it is. That's the space that we are in. That's
what it is. You've got to. And you got to hold it, like, you know what I mean? And do you know what's the greatest thing about football? The greatest thing about football is there's no right and wrong. It's all about opinions.
It's opinionated.
And opinions, your opinion is your opinion. Doesn't make it say you're wrong, doesn't make it say right. And that is the same with me. You might think that Eric Cantona's the best player that's ever played in the world of the Premier League. I might say Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No one's right and no one's wrong. And that is the fascinating thing about what we do. Yeah. It's all about
it is great. And you said there, you mentioned it about starting up the channel with Potts, not getting many views at the very, very start, which is tough to believe. I bet you not getting many views is very different to most. But would that deter you at the time, or was you like, if we just keep working, we've got enough good ideas, we're both well known enough. So
makes you grounded, Lawrence, makes you grounded, because at the end of the day, you think like, well, okay, I've got a good platform with Aftv, and but this one here, I've got to do a little bit more. I've got to work at it. I've got to work at it. Got to do put some hours in, make sure it's good, like And listen, when you do a podcast, say, and it's picking up 100,000 views or 50,000 views, and your fan cams are pulling in 200,000.
Yeah, talk them big numbers.
You're talking big numbers, and then all of a sudden you're doing another podcast with your name on it, and it's getting 100 people.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. But then I look at it and go, right, okay. If I'm playing football and there's 100 people watching me, how good's that?
Exceptional.
All right, so 200 even better, like, you know what I mean? Like 1,000 fans watching you play football. So if I'm playing Sunday morning, 1,000 fans come in and watch it, like, you know what I mean? You'd be up here doing this. So at the end of the day, if you've got one person watching you, that's an achievement.
Yeah, something. Absolutely.
You've got, you know what I mean? Like 50 people waiting for you to come on. That's an achievement.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it, like, and you might score a goal in front of 50,000 fans, but you might score a better goal in front of 3,000, and that's what matters. So for me, what we're doing at Lee Judges TV and what you're doing, all that, I think is more of something to be proud of than perhaps doing something that when it's guaranteed.
Yeah, so you're saying there's the safety net because they've already got the audience built in, whereas if it's yours, you have to literally build it from the ground up.
Yeah, listen, if I do a live with Aftv, and we do a few of them, like 2,500 watching.
Yeah.
When I'm doing it with Lee Judges TV, it's 1,000. Right? So when you think about it, what they've got and what platform that they've got, I ain't doing too bad to
You're doing exceptional.
To do what? So whenever you think like if you're getting 200, 300, I wouldn't look at that and go, I'm disappointed with that.
Definitely
and it's not all about. And this is something that taught me something very, very high. Like I was getting like back in the day when it was getting really good, I was probably getting 70, 80,000 but they were 70, 80,000 Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just chipping on for my channel to see me do this. I had a following of like proper, sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got people just going, I'm just going to go and watch Floyd, so I'm going to watch Judges just to see them melt down and all that. No, I want to go and see them because they've got something constructive to say.
Yes.
Week in, week out, and I think that's something that you should. I feel very, very proud of, like,
as you should be.
And like we've done a video outside. That was something that we've done, and I don't know who come up with that. We thought, right, we'd do things outside the ground, but not as a individual, as a group, like people, like, you know what I mean, around with something different, and that picks up 100,000 fans, 100,000 views a little while back. So that's something that we've thought about, and that's something different. It was the idea that comes up, and when that comes up, you're proud of it because it's your little baby, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. It makes it even more, like I said, it's even more rewarding when you see something you've built from the ground up get big numbers, and big numbers to you is subjective. Like you said, if you got 10 people watching you, I tell people all the time we're starting out, hey, that's 10 people.
Yeah,
that's a
they're
great
tuning in every
start.
week. They come back to you, like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's a great start. Put 10 people in your living room. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, of course it is, and they're listening to what you're doing and all that, like, you know.
No.
So I think that if you've got anybody, it's, you know, and that's something, if you know, like, I still don't understand it, but you know, like, long may it continue, that people do want to listen to what I say, do think I'm funny, do whatever. It's fantastic, like, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's, you know, that's how you got to be, you know. You know, it's fortunate. As I say, everybody can do it, but not everybody gets to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
not
what you
everyone
do.
can do it well. Anybody can talk football. Any football fan of any club
Yeah,
across the globe can talk football with and has opinions on things, whether they're more positive or quote unquote negative or more balanced, whatever the case may be. I keep saying this. Can you do it where it's entertaining and it's digestible that people want to watch? That's the tough part.
And listen, I don't know Mark Goldbridge. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he knows me or whatever. But that guy, to me, I've got so much admiration for him because for what he can do and what he's done. And I don't think he was, I don't know if he's a great footballer or he's got great football knowledge or whatever. Or for him to do what he's done, Expressions is another one.
Expressions is the goated, man.
You know what I mean? Like, for what they do, very, very clever. He is very, very clever.
Yeah.
I've got, whether I agree with him or not, I've got admiration for what they're doing, you know, to do what they do. So anybody that's successful at this, good luck to you, like, you know what I mean? You deserve it.
Yeah, without that. And I definitely have to ask you as well, you've mentioned him frequently during this as well. Your relationship with Potts in this space. Because I think you two as a duo is fantastic. Was that just something that happened just naturally, and did it surprise you, the chemistry that you have with him? Because I think it's brilliant, you two as a duo.
I just think it's just natural. I just think we got on from day one. We just got on. I don't mean like being big-headed and all that. When he was on, I said, "Oh, you're good. You're good at this. Let's do something together because you're good. I need a presenter for Lee Judge's TV, someone that can do it. Do you want to do it? I think you feel, you know what I mean? I'm really impressed with him. I've always been impressed with what he's done as a presenter and everything like that. He speaks very, very well. Listen, me and Dan here tell you, we don't agree on loads of stuff. We're on different pages completely when it comes to Arsenal. I don't agree with a lot of stuff. He don't agree with what I'm saying. But you know what? He'll say it. And I go, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's constructive.
And he'd probably say the same about me, but we never go, oh, you're this and you're that.
Never gets personal.
I mean? No, it's a lot of respect. He's got wonderful, wonderful family behind him. His mum and dad are so supportive and all that, like, you know. And I think that you all need someone in your life behind you to be supportive and all that, like, you know. And because there are times when things ain't going great or whatever, someone's got to remind you of where you come from and what you are and whatever. So I think that's where he's got fantastic people behind him, and he's a grafter. I look on things and I'm going falling asleep and that, and he comes up, he's on again. You know what I mean? He's on telly more than my ornaments. You know what I mean? Like,
he's on telly more than my ornaments.
But there you go, like, you know what I mean?
That's a good one.
But that's how he is. He's a top guy, and we get on really well. And you know, we meet up in football, and we'll have a chat. Sometimes we don't, but when we get together, and we just have a chat before and afterwards, and it's fantastic. Like, yeah, really good.
Man, I love that, for real. And you lot continue to run up the likes, continue to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to Judge's channel as well. Judge's, just a couple more things before you indeed go. I know you got your 6 aside. Future endeavors. You mentioned a documentary, right? Channel 4, 5, did you say?
I've got something coming up Channel 4. It's like a food testing thing. Like, it's completely different. It's nothing to do with football.
Okay.
So that's coming out, we think, in April. I've done 2 series now. So I've done the first series without it being aired, and they called us back for the second. So I've done that. So hopefully that'll be good. Yeah, and a couple of other things in the pipeline. You know, you know what it's like, chatting array and things like that. So all different things. So, and of course, still doing it. I would never give up the Arsenal stuff. What I do now, this is my dream job. But, you know what I mean? Like, if you said to me, what do you want to be in life? You know what I mean? This is it. So I don't want to, I'll never get away from it. I even think if Hollywood come up and said to me, look, we're doing a blockbuster film and you've got to go over there for 8 months, I don't think I would do it. Because I
think it's dependent on,
unless they offered me 6 million, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's the money, number one, and two, if it was football related, if it was like a football,
you know what I mean? It has to be a big thing.
To
get me away from what I do. It really would, like, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very happy in what I'm happy in life, happy what I'm doing, and I don't think I want to change that really.
No, I love that. I love that, judges, for real, live, for real. And it's been great because I didn't know too much about your backstory, so this is all new information for me as well. And the storytelling is great, as I would expect from you. I knew you'd have some stories. I know you'd be super honest to chat. Dave loved it. I've loved it as well. Is there any key moments or key people in your journey or anything that we've missed out that we may not have covered that you want to mention?
No, just look. Anybody that, you know, there's too many to mention. There's so many stories, you know, funny stories that I've had. Anybody that's helped me along the way, I'm grateful to. You know, I've just been very, very fortunate. Like, look, listen, people help you out. How can I say this without being old? People help you out because they're making money out of you as well. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, of course, there's some form of exchange.
No one does nothing for free, right? Let's put it like that way, right? So if you're earning money, someone's earning money out of you. Remember that. Like, that's in any walk of life, right? Okay. So, there's plenty of people that have helped me out with advice, giving me things and whatever. The best thing is that I can say is, is Arsenal Football Club. It's the thing that's made me. If it wasn't for Arsenal Football Club, I'd never be where I am now. Through the good thing, there's been good times and bad times. And one of the biggest things that I've done is through Arsenal's good times, I've still been able to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, ain't all just about the bad times. You know what I mean? People go, listen, yes, you do make money when they lose. Of course you do, like, you know what I mean?
But you make money when they win.
You make more money when they win because, for instance, if Arsenal go out against Real Madrid, you earn on the night, but then you ain't got a semi-final to earn no money, have you?
That's true. Confident in that, the Real Madrid tie. What were you saying? Confident? Not confident? Slim to none?
Do you know what? I'll be disappointed if we go out, but absolutely delighted if we go through. Felt that like the last time we played them and we managed to beat them, like, So, listen, they're a football team. There are 11 players on the pitch that are not much better than us, man for man, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be professional footballers. But they're a better equipped side. They've got better players in certain areas than us. We've got better players than them in certain areas. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the magic people. And do you know what? This is people go, oh, you talk about your vets football and all that. Our vets football team's got 3 fantastic strikers, right? Yeah. Fantastic strikers. Yeah. None of them played on Sunday, out injured or whatever. Drew 0-0. The forwards make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they get paid the big money. They get paid the biggest money.
Better forwards than us. Can we keep them out? Can they have a bad day? That's why football can happen. They can have a bad day, but my God, those forwards have got to have a bad day.
Yeah, that's true because they got a lot of talent. And you mentioned that because you mentioned a lot as well about managing Arsenal. Managing some form of, it's a team with ex-Arsenal players in it. What's that about, if you can reveal?
Yeah, that's at the end of the month. In May. Too much about it, like, it's in Margate, I think it is, like, or around that way. when that comes out, I'll let everybody know on socials when it's
let them know, because I'm gonna try to get down to that if it's open to what.
It's in the I think Matthew Upson's playing. I think James Collins on the old side. There's a few players, but it's all like coming together, like, you know what I mean. So once it's all official and everything, like, you know, they're done. But I'm really looking forward to that. That'd be something special.
So you're not playing with
I'm disappointed they asked me to be manager, not playing. But
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah, like, are you manager not playing, but first.
I put myself on with 10 minutes to go, sodom, like, you know what I mean? So, no, I love all that sort of stuff. I love, you know, I've played years ago for the Arsenal charity side, done that, played in the Arsenal kit, played in some charity games and helping people out. When people say, "Yeah, do you want to come and play in a charity game?" There's nothing. They're the highlights of everything. You know what I mean? Doing that sort of stuff, like, you know what I mean? So brilliant. I'm very, very, very fortunate. I wish I was a little bit younger, because I've definitely pushed myself to play a lot more in these charity games. But the old legs can't take it now, like, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Love that, Judges, for real. But big up, again, you lot, subscribe to Lee Judges TV. Make sure subscribe. The link is in the title, people. Subscribe to Sarcasm City TV as well. Judges, thank you for doing this. I really enjoyed this.
No problems. Loved it. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I hope you lot have enjoyed this as well. Don't forget, it's not only available here on the YouTube channel, it's also on our audio platforms, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts. Type in Sarcasm City TV and these will pop up. I'm trying to get a couple more specials sorted, people, before international break is back. So I'm trying to sort that. But make sure, if you've not watched this back, watch this back. So many words of wisdom from Judges, and also great stories as well, entertaining. You know you're going to get that, and we learned a lot as well. Make sure you check out the one with Turkish yesterday as well. But we're going to close out. We're going to redirect to my bro Sheik. He's running WWE 2K. So all I need you lot to do when you head over there, put Sarcasm City TV Raid in his chat, hit the like button, and subscribe as well. So yeah, I see that sign at Sheik's live. So big up. Any final words, Judges, for the people?
No, thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks for having us on. I appreciate that, and good luck with everything you do. You're a top guy. So
yeah, appreciate that, Judges, man. Appreciate that. So big up, love to everyone that's locked in. And this has been the Sarcasm City TV special with special guest Lee Judges on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.